Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shannon Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology coach, and personalized learning coordinator for my district.
And I'm her producer/husband, Fuzz Martin.
Today, we are going to talk about things to make scavenger hunts.
Cool.
Digital scavenger hunts.
Even better. Then we don't have to get up and move around. How will I get my steps in?
Well, it's a combination of both. We're going to talk about GooseChase. GooseChase.
Pretty wild.
Wild goose chase. I was going to do a duck, goose chase.
Okay, all right.
See?
Yeah.
I know it's been around for a while, but just kind of reminders about some cool things you can do with it. And the other one is Piktochart, which doesn't seem very chasey, but works really well when you're putting together a little goose chase. When you're coordinating things for a hunt.
Okay, so you do use Piktochart for that too.
Well, Piktochart is kind of its own.
Yeah.
It has lots of tools, but when I use the two of them together.
Okay.
So I use like the combo pack.
So
that's why I put them together.
Write these both down and use them both. You
can use them separately or you can use them together.
Cool.
How's that?
Great.
So my thought is that, I like to theme a week. I like to theme weeks.
You have napkins for every themed week of the year that I can think of.
I do. I love a good themed napkin.
She themes everything.
I love a theme. So I was thinking springtime.
Except theme parks. Not a huge fan.
No, they're just okay. But a theme of a themed party, a themed day where you get to dress up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Themes are cool. Themes in books are important.
I bet you, though, if you were going to create a park, you would create a theme park.
Well, yeah, it would have a theme and it'd probably, Yeah. Okay. So anyway, since it's the time of year when everybody is egg hunting and Eastering hunting and trying to get outside and keep their students engaged and do cool things. But the big thing is it's hunting season, not like Wisconsin hunting season, but like hunting for eggs. Or various other things. Our daughter likes to hunt plastic eggs around our living room on a regular basis.
She really does.
And so
it reminds me of a Easter egg hunt that we went on. Was it last year or 2 years ago now? Where we had all the snow.
Last year was in the snow.
Yeah.
There was egg hunting in the snow.
We went to an Easter egg hunt in Sister Bay in Door County, Wisconsin. And they had put all the eggs out the night before, and then we got
It was the morning of. But it was late. It was early morning because they have to get everything ready at 7 a.m.
That's right.
And the hunt starts at 11.
And then it snowed. And we got 4 inches of snow.
Or more. Yeah. It was enough to cover the tops of your shoes.
Yeah, you could not find the eggs in the snow.
And the little ones were digging through, and everybody's wet because it's that wet, April
snow. Yeah.
So it's wet, and we had the kids in snow pants out there, and they're like, no, the winners haven't been found. So then everybody had to go back out again and dig through the snow again because they couldn't find
probably 100 kids.
Yeah, and they couldn't find all of the eggs because they were buried in the snow, and everyone was sopping wet.
And we've got a story forever.
Oh my gosh, it's great. The pictures are amazing, But the kids were super excited. The candy was still in the eggs. They just, got a little wet in the process.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was fantastic.
So back to our hunting as we digress. So GooseChase. Those of you that have used GooseChase before, it has a few little snazzy upgrades.
What is it?
GooseChase is an app you can put on your phone for the goose chase.
Okay.
I set it up. I set my goose chases up online. So their website, GooseChase.com. You sign up for a free account, and it's pretty easy. It walks you through step by step. So you sign yourself in, you create an account, click on game info, and you set up your game. You can upload an image, so you have got a little picture that goes with it, and it literally tells you, left-hand side, you're filling in, game image, name of your game description, game location, game password, which is optional. You don't have to do a location or a password. And the right-hand side, it says, game name. Your participants will use this to identify your game inside the app. And then game description. You'll also be able to identify the game, but you can also have describe the game's rules. So every step, like every box where you're typing your information in, it has the box right next to it telling you exactly what you're doing to set up. So you set it up online.
So setup's really easy.
It's really easy. It's very like straightforward. And once you have your game set up, then you have your missions. So for a mission, what you're going to do is you're going to put in like your title, and then you put in, that's where I ask a question. So, like, what
was the cause of World War II?
Yes, you could do it definitely like where you're putting in information where kids have to search that information. I'm like physically get up and go do stuff. So I guess there's options, and I'll get to that a little bit in the missions. Actually, we can just talk about that. When you go into and you add a mission to your list, you have the option that you type in the mission name, like what you want them to look for, the description, and then you can choose if you want to do a photo or video mission where you have to find the photo and attach it. You can do a text mission where you're going to be text-based answers, so you type in their answer and they search it. Or you can do a GPS mission where you have actual location check-ins. So you can do this searching like on the computer to make like an online scavenger hunt for your kids, or you can make it physical where they have to get up, go around certain points at the school, go around outside if they're doing like a playground challenge, or, you know, get on your school's property.
Yeah. So you could do this if you're a physical education teacher.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or teaching social studies.
Yep. Or science if they're going to do, you know, going to go out in, like, we have a natural area for our science kids, and they can go out and go search, like, go take a picture, identify, like, 3 different types of trees. They have to take those 3 types of trees, take pictures of, like, the tree, the leaves, and then do a GPS location as a teacher, like, you'd know if, you know, the right vicinity or that kind of thing. So you can set up each of your missions with any of those types of questions and answers. So what I like about GooseChase then is you can, you know, take it outside if it's a beautiful day, or if you're just going to do kind of a scavenger hunt around your school inside the building, or you can just do it on the computer and pick and choose.
Or if you live in a location where winter does not make life miserable.
Right, and you can go enjoy things outside. Is that what you're referring to?
I'm just upset because it's going to be 70 degrees tomorrow, and we might get like 12 inches of snow within the next week as well.
I know, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's totally Wisconsin weather. So that's another thing too about GooseChase. So if you're going to go do a scavenger hunt outside, you could easily shift it inside very quickly if you need to, like, change up your plans, because everyone's always thinking on their feet.
Could you also change the date if you end up getting like more days of school because you had school closures?
Things about that. Participants in game mode in the free version, you can pre-create teams where you can add your students in, or their team names. They can like choose them ahead of time, or they can just sign in, and I'll kind of talk about the app part of it in a second. It is limited. So in the free version, you only get a certain amount of teams. It's small.
Okay.
Amount of teams that you can do. So like kids would have to work together, kind of a thing. But you're able to
get creative and
work around as they're doing stuff. And then if you have the upgraded version, you can add more teams and stuff.
But who wants to buy stuff when you're a teacher and you're already buying so much stuff every year?
Well, I guess my thought is if you really love GooseChase and you're going to use it a lot, then it might be worth the upgrade. But if you're just going to try it out,
it might work.
If you've got some money out there. And then what's cool is to start and stop the game. Again, it just walks you on the left-hand side down the screen is the next part. Start and stop. You can pick 1 hour, 2 hours to limit it for class periods, which is kind of cool. So then like one class couldn't tell the next class their full set of answers. Like they'd have to like, and just add the next game in, or you can redo a mission,
right?
But it stops one set of kids from
being
able to answer.
Yep. Okay.
Which is cool. And then you can set it up for like 7 days, so kids have a whole week to go through. Maybe they're kind of looking for something. You're doing some work that you're going to prep them for the next unit. You want some background knowledge to get them engaged. So you can start and stop manually or have it scheduled, and you can set it up that way, which is pretty sweet. So that's the online side of GooseChase. When you have the app, you have the option of the app is free. You just put it on your phone, and kids can put it on iPads or they can have it on their phones. And then you can, when you create it, you get they used to have to search for the name of your hunt, or your Goose Chase, now they just will give you a game code. So when you set up your game, they can type in the 6-letter word combination, and then it comes up right away, which is easy.
That's cool.
So with all of that said, I did set up a Goose Chase.
What?
So anyone who wants to try it out from like the kid perspective, I mean, please try it out as a teacher because it's fun. Mm-hmm. But if you want to try it out, see what it feels like to play it. And that, I shouldn't just say kid. Adults can do this. Like you could do this at your office and do a scavenger hunt for, you guys, I know, do fun employee things where you guys are, I don't know, your quarterly meetings where you're doing activities and
we do
learning
stuff during the week
and,
because sometimes we just have to blow off steam.
Yeah. And go play pool or pinball.
Mini golf.
There you go. So put them on a Goose Chase and you could have them set up Goose Chase and make them figure out, and the prize will be, I don't know, gift cards.
A $25
gift card to Baker Square.
To Baker Square. Okay.
On Pi Day, you guys always have Baker Square gift cards.
I know.
Because it's Pi Day.
Yeah.
Baker Square gift cards are amazing. Pie is amazing. Anyway, so back to our Goose Chase. So I set it up. If you want to try it out, it will actually, it's called the Tech Tools for Teachers Tech Hunt. And if you want to try it out, the game code is, I'll give it to you right now. It's 2B, like letter B as in boy, 8, V as in Valentine, D as in dog, 6. That's my game code. It's got limited spots because it is the free version, but if you want to try it out, you can check it out. Each one correct is worth 400 points.
Cool. What's that code again?
2B as in boy, 8, V as in Valentine, D as in dog, 6. Okay.
2B8, V
D6.
D6. Okay.
Yep. Sounds like bingo. Anyway, so if you want to try it out, you can. And just, if you don't get in, I'm sorry, there was limited spots in those who could test it out, but you're welcome to try it. Sign yourself up. It is live. It counts down too, which is cool. So when you set your timer on it, you can see live. So I've got 6 days, 15 hours, 59 minutes, and 50 seconds left on my Goose Chase for those that are going to try it.
Sounds good. And this is going live on the evening of Sunday, April 7th, 2019. So if you're listening after that, just know that's
just go try out the website on your own and try it on your friends.
Yeah. Or if you're Goose Chase, hook us up with a if you're listening from Goose
trial,
Chase,
so then we can have more people try it.
Yeah.
So Goose Chasers, woohoo, go chase the goose, duck goose. On that note, so Goose Chase, so how I set up with my students and how like Goose Chase and Piktochart work together, because they actually don't
they don't communicate together, but
no, they don't work together at all. They're two completely different websites.
But you create stuff in Piktochart and use it.
Yeah, which I know, but people are like, oh, you could just create that in a Google Doc. Well, I could create it in a Google Doc, but I like to try new things. I like to expose my students to new websites, so they're not always in a Google Doc. We all know how to use a Google Doc.
But they're using it in all their classrooms, right? And
they're very familiar. And so, I mean, I'm very comfortable. We do lots of paper. We do lots of things like using Google. But I also like to expose my students to just other formats out there and to make them a little uncomfortable so they learn flexibility when it comes to technology. So Piktochart is a great site for setting up like infographics, presentations, and printables. And it's super easy to use. And the reason why for some reason, I don't know, Piktochart and Goose Chase to me have been around for a while, and I dig them back up every once in a while because I use them together for some odd reason. So what I do is I create either a printable or an infographic, because to me, Piktochart stuff is a little more, it's pretty straightforward when it comes to an infographic. I know I've talked about many different infographic sites before, and I've not talked about Piktochart because to me, it just falls kind of into a different category. If that it doesn't, but it does. The visuals on it are very clear and very straightforward. There's not a lot of artsy things going, and they are artistic, but they're not as, I don't know, detailed and complicated as some of the other infographics that I'm using.
Sure.
So when I'm setting up a Goose Chase or a scavenger hunt for my students, and I want to put in some QR codes, we talked about those last week. You can drop a QR code in that gives the kids like the first picture clue.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be on like your Piktochart. And they're printables. Like, let me take a step back. You can make a printable on Piktochart.
Okay.
Or you can just do it digitally. But I like to print out the first clue and kind of make it a big deal. So if I print out the cool set, like here's the QR code,
Yep.
here's your first clue, here's some fun little rhymey thing I'm going to do to like jazz you up about what we're hunting for.
Mm-hmm.
And then they run around with this paper like crazy kids because for some reason holding on to something. It's like one kid has a phone or a tablet and the other kid has the paper with the first clue and they all like take off. It just seems to have a little more impact sometimes. They like to have the paper because it's like holding the map.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
If you're doing
You're
doing
like
a
crazy person. I'm just standing here shaking my hands at the microphone.
You're doing a scavenger hunt. You want to like a little
so they
piece
want to like a thing to like
tangible.
run with.
Yeah.
So Piktochart has really cool, just quick infographics and printables that I can just like zip together, fun little directions, put some QR codes in and be like, you're off! And then they like grab their GooseChase and they go running and they go figure out what they need to do. Also, I've done it where I have the directions made cute and just like one per group. So if they come into my classroom that day and their information's laid out in Piktochart, they noticed it in their group and then they're doing like an online scavenger hunt.
Sure.
So sometimes there's just clues laid out for them. Sometimes there's like a mixture of clues and pictures. And then sometimes there's different things going on. So Piktochart has lots of cool, it's a quick way to make things cute.
Yeah.
Quickly. So Piktochart, it's free to publish, but once you publish, I guess, go into Piktochart. It's very, very like laid out, like dashboard, infographic, presentation. Click on one, click on a template.
Yep.
Drag and drop your information in. Very easy to use. And when you go to publish them, if you publish, you cannot make edits after that. So you just have to be in the free version. Like once you go to publish, you can't change it. But if you just if you download a ping file, like you'll have all your stuff and it works fine that way.
Okay.
If you want higher quality, you can have low to medium quality for print. When you're printing things, if you pick high quality, you have to pay for it. So like there's little things in there that they have you pay for, but for what the students need to see.
You're not making a presentation for...
It's not super formal. Yeah. So
it's feel like you're going to the school board and you need to use a Piktochart thing.
Right. Then you might want to pay for it.
Even then, use the low quality and be like, I could use the high quality if you gave me more money.
Yeah, that doesn't really work that way. No. But what is cool about Piktochart, there's a new thing they've added, is that you can do brand assets. So that way you can, like, students can learn about branding.
Sure.
When they're creating a Piktochart. And I've kind of started walking them into that just a little bit, where, like, if you have the same colors and all of your stuff and you coordinate your, you know, fonts and that kind of thing. And Piktochart does have that option now, which is kind of cool. So if you're using Piktochart just to use it for a tool for your students, branding is now an option, so students can do that in Piktochart.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's easy to upload if you want to put a QR code or something on it, or just add some images and then some fun directions, and then the kids can go run and go find something or go learn about something.
Just
I think
get out and
I don't know,
move around.
It makes it a little more exciting, and it's kind of a fun way if you're going through new vocabulary, new concepts, and you want them to really get excited about something, or if there's a topic that you know is gonna be a little dry.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to jazz it up with some sort of scavenger hunt or an online hunt, and hopefully these are some snazzy tools that you can use to try it out.
Make it happen. Yeah. Go explore. Try it. Try something new.
And I'm going to, I think, I'll put that code into the Facebook page as well. So that way, if you didn't catch it or you were driving or doing something, I'll post on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast Facebook page.
Perfect.
So the code is there too.
Awesome. That sounds like a great idea.
Cool. Well,
get out there and explore some stuff.
Yeah.
And if you ever have any questions on how to implement this stuff, Shanna is always there willing to take your questions at smartinwi on Twitter, or go to the website, smartinwi.com, or go to the Facebook page, search Tech Tools for Teachers.
Yep. And sometimes people actually, shoot me an email and then I can screencast stuff too, which I'm happy to do if you have extra questions. So
yeah, and the Gmail account is techtools4teachers podcast@gmail.com, which is it's probably the longest
longest email ever. It's
the
like
longest email address
it's
you can ever do.
techtools4teachers
podcast at gmail.com. But if you do it, send it her way and she'll get back to you.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, number 16.
Yes.
If you ever have any questions, you can find me at Twitter at SmartNWI. And if you ever want to get more information on any of the links or technology that we discussed in today's episode or any other episode, you can visit at smartnwi.com. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed in this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed in this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we sure hope that they do. And we will talk to you again next week. Have a good one. Bye.